What are some guy secrets girls don't know about? We put our hands in our jeans pockets to scratch our balls properly. Edit. We also pretend that we're pulling out a phone or keys 10 seconds after to hide the fact in question. Most of the answers in this thread revolve around men are simple, men don't gossip, or men don't care about most things, etc., and that they are just nice, straightforward creatures. While this may be true for the majority, I do hope that guys reading this thread don't put this male simplicity on a pedestal. It doesn't make you less of a man if you don't experience that blank state of mind as often as the comments suggest men do, or if you are actually interested in your friends' lives and like the occasional light gossip, or if you care about where to go for dinner. You can worry about stuff and have strong opinions too. Yes, exactly. A lot of these comments can apply to women too, like thinking about nothing or wanting alone time after a long day at work. I recognize that my boyfriend is a complicated person, and I mean that in a good way because he's not some one-dimensional character in a book. He sometimes tends to overanalyze our conversations, just like me. We don't get involved in any drama because we're chill, but we love hearing gossip lol. In fact, my guy friends gossip just as much, if not more, than my girlfriends. Maybe not everyone does this, but most of my friends that have grown out their beard and cut it off have made the Hitler stash. Only for a few moments, though. I go in this order when I cut my beard off. 1. Full beard. 2. Friendly mutton chops. 3. Fu Manchu. 4. Porn stash. 5. Hitler. 6. Sadness. If a guy goes out with other guys, chances are when he says they talked about nothing, they actually did talk about nothing interesting. No gossip, no how's the family. It just tends to be talking about some sort of shared interest or hobby, and a lot of banter. And when you ask him, I can almost guarantee that he remembers almost none of the content of the 5-hour conversation they've been having. My friends and I usually start trashing each other, and it's hilarious. Then my GF asks, and I'm like, you don't want to know what they said about my ass? My favorite is the, tell me what you were talking about. Nah, you won't find it funny. Gets grumpy and insists I tell them. So I finally relent and tell them then, get a 20-minute lecture on why we are gross and unfunny. The closer we are with another dude, the trashier and worst we talk to each other, i.e., once a friend suffered an accident, Smalls bruises in his arms. And the nicer text he got was, you even sucks at crashing a car. Yep, friend got cancer, and I sent him, you're ugly as fuck bald. His reply, at least I'm not ginger touche. Guys like being touched? I like it when a lady keeps her hand on my thigh when we're driving, or rubbing my head when we're laying on the couch. Pretty much just any contact. My wife is the opposite, and it sucks sometimes. We don't need special mood, candles, music for wanking. Usually it happens because we were scratching our balls. We get boner all the time, and no, most of them are not sexual boner, we just get them. Randomly waking up at night? With boner, of course. Waiting at waiting room for your doctor's appointment? Boom boner. Middle of a serious office meeting? Boner out of nowhere. It's not always sexual. And when we get in the kinky mood, can't think of anything else before calming the horse. Man, I had a 2-hour erection while having fucking food poisoning. We're scared to break down. Sometimes when it feels like the whole world is on your shoulders, it's scarier to think what would happen if you asked for help and no one knew what to do rather than asking for help at all. I miss being a kid. Straight up. Also like crying. I don't know about you guys, but I literally cannot cry, even when I'm faced with a lot of issues. It kind of sucks because it's healthy to cry, but now I've forgotten what it's like, and I'm almost scared to cry because people may think I'm weak. It's weird. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect this amount of replies. Thank you to everyone for your responses. I appreciate all of you. Your beach and swimsuit photos on the internet most likely have been fapping material for at least one guy. We love cuddling. We love someone thinking about us too and doing random acts of kindness. We appreciate help with things, even though sometimes we may not ask for it. The one thing I want the most of all from a woman is cuddling. I can wank, I can spend time alone being productive, but an empty bed at night with no cutie to put my arms around is what's killing me about being single. I hug my bed sheets and think about women. I don't like typing this, but it's Reddit and it's the truth. Sexual intimacy is amazing and necessary, but my God, that non-sexual intimacy is just as important. Cuddling and holding hands and just being able to be with someone, playing with each other's hair or massages, all of it. Sexual intimacy is the icing on top of the relationship cake. Oh, and gentle forehead kisses. Don't even have words for those. Amazing. We don't pick up on subtle hints that you are interested in us. If you want to get a guy's attention, you pretty much have to either hit him over the head or strip right in front of him and rub yourself all over him. Alright, next time I see my crush, I'm gonna rip off all my clothes cavewoman style and pounce. He'll either run away screaming or meet me halfway. I'll update you. Make sure to give him a good crack on the head with a club for good measure. If we're dating and planning on hanging out tonight, I'm going to rub one out in the morning just in case we have sexy time so that I don't blow my load in the first minute. I do the opposite. I avoid jacking off for a day or two, so I have a big old load primed and ready for sexy times. You're a true warrior, my friend, because every time I don't pre-deed, I last mere moments. The male orgasm starts with cum and ends several seconds later. If you stay on the cock after we finish, we will likely convulse from what is either pain or euphoria. We don't know which. But don't stop immediately after we come or you'll ruin it. I had a girlfriend that would literally stop with the first spurt, get up and go into the bathroom, run water on a face cloth, come back and throw it at me while I was beating myself off the rest of the way, then go back into the bathroom and shut the door. Also, once she read an I shit you not Cosmo article that said when your man is about to come, you should squeeze the top of his dick closed to stop him from coming. She tried this a bit too late, unfortunately, which ended up with me in tremendous pain and blood coming out of my penis. It was literally the only time she used a firm grip, too. Blood? The fuck? That can actually happen? Yep, retrograde ejaculations can rupture capillaries. Of course it can. If the opening at the end is sealed shut, a hole is going to open up somewhere else along the urethra. I'm just thankful that other than a week without sex, which I obviously wasn't that into anyway, or pain-free urination, there were no long-term consequences. We still get lonely, and fear we'll never find someone. Like, I don't get freaked out about talking about marriage and having kids. Like, I don't want to waste my time. Maybe I'm just a pussy. That's the kind of deal with your own shit, don't be a crybaby, man up attitude that guys are taught, and it's damn harmful. You're not a pussy for having feelings of loneliness and worries about a lonely future. I'm a guy myself, BDW. If we randomly surprise you with flowers or some gift for no reason, it doesn't mean there is an ulterior motive or that we are trying to get forgiveness for something. So when you make a big deal and try to roast us with questioning, or say things like, wow, why can't you be more like this more often? All you are doing is sending the signal to the man's brain. Do not do the thing again that brings her suspicion on you. Besides, we know if it becomes expected, then it becomes a chore and we are treated as some sort of failure when we don't do it. Yep, if I buy my partner flowers on my lunch break and take them back to work, I always get asked, what have you done? By female colleagues, followed by light piss-taking. Reality is that sometime I walk past a florist or see some in a shop and think, oh, I haven't bought any of those for a while, so I get them as a nice surprise. Sometimes I go out to the grocer's for whatever and come back with a bunch of flowers just because A, I noticed them, and B, girlfriend likes being surprised by pretty flowers. That's it. That's all. There is literally nothing else to it. She's also always happy to get them and never receives them with suspicion, which is nice. Might be too late, but guys really enjoy side-by-side time. A lot of people have already brought this up, so I'm really just putting a name on it. It took a while for my wife to figure it out, but side-by-side time is when you are engaged in an activity with someone else, but not necessarily talking to them. You bond through the shared experience of the activity, not by talking to each other. This is why so many guys reminisce about shared experiences and tell stories about things they did together. I also happen to think that side-by-side time is why guys like games so much. I game online with my good friends frequently, and we rarely get past how are you in terms of personal chat, but we all love it. Same goes for watching sports, playing board games, other hobbies and stuff. So if you really want to impress your husband-boyfriend, intentionally have side-by-side time with him. Pick an activity or hobby that he enjoys and just do it with him. Don't ask him if he's enjoying himself or what he's thinking. If you have to, literally just sit next to him on the couch and watch the game with him. If he's comfortable with it, quietly watch him build his computer or ask him how it works. Keep the conversation about the activity. Avoid asking him how he's doing unless he brings it up. Literally, just be there with him. Sit and be there while he cleans his gun. Or just read a book in the same room he's reading in. Total side note, especially for women who are married to an introvert. If you really want to have a conversation, ask your husband-boyfriend about something they're interested in or enjoy. Point being, guys, and introverts in general, find it 10x easier to talk about something rather than themselves. Ask a guy how his day is, fine. Ask a guy to explain something about his favorite hobby. You will be there for hours. This is a generalization, but I think there's some truth in it. I think women tend to bond through verbal communication and they get worried/nervous to just be there with their partner, side by side, because they aren't actually doing anything. But guys see that as bonding and caring. Edit. Thank you for the gold, kind person. I'm glad some of you found it useful. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe and comment if you know some guys' secrets. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.